Hey y'all, hey, I just watched They Cloned Tyrone on Netflix and I thoroughly enjoyed it. I saw so many movie references in it. It's like it's overwhelming, but Jamie Foxx always delivers him playing Slick Charles was everything. John Boyega, brother, chef's kiss. You know I love you anyway. Nobody can talk about John Boyega around me. Point blank. Period. And Tiana Parrish, she's my girl crush. She killed it as Yo-Yo. Of course, they had Jay Alphonse. Love to see him. Yeah, I know he be playing that crazy character on P Valley, but I loved him in this too. If you haven't saw they clone Tyrone, basically you're introduced to a dope boy who basically goes to go collect his money around the neighborhood. Jay Alphonse, who's his nemesis, ends up 50 centing him, lighting his behind up, and he thinks he's dead, only for him to and Slick Charles sees him get taken out, and Yo-Yo come back and see him getting taken out, only to see him wake up the next day like nothing happened and coming back to get his money again from Slick Charles, and the chaos ensued. It was basically a hood Nancy Drew series, and I love the way they kept referencing Nancy Drew. Tell us on how many adventures this B gonna go on. But if you don't know who Nancy Drew is, she's the one who solves mysteries. There's a series of books, and I love books. I hence me being called the scholar. And they also reference Scooby-Doo mysteries, but there's so many movies in here. There's Black Dynamite. There's Undercover Brother. There's a couple of scenes that remind you of Players Club. There were so many movies in this. Oh my God. Anyways, you could tell that they had a really good budget. The acting wasn't suspect. The story, it had a little bit of Black Lightning in there too, if you ever saw that show on UPN. But they live in a place called the Glen, and they go on an adventure to figure out why freaking Fontaine, which is John Boyega's character, came back. And it was so good, and it talked about so many different things in our community that certain people think may have control over us, like perms and relaxers, church, the liquor, the music. And there were so many messages in this story. I really enjoyed it because I'm, believe it or not, as awake as I am, my third eye be talking to me. I love blaxploitation movies only because that was a few times back in the day where Black people could actually star in a movie and be their own hero and take it to the man. But either way, I love blaxploitation movies, and also I love horror. There was a horror element to it. There was a sci-fi element to it. The soundtrack was everything. I mean, the songs that they chose for each scene were perfection. All I can say is that I don't want to tell the entire movie. I would love to do a whole breakdown. I was going to watch it live, but I'm like, y'all don't want to hear me running my mouth for 2 hours. I don't want to run my mouth for 2 hours, and it's been a really crazy day. But if you haven't seen it, please check it out. Yes, it has stereotypes in there, but it's used to move the story along. And whoever directed this movie was everything. And there were so many cameos. When I saw David Allen Greer come out as that preacher, I'm like, oh Lord, Reverend Lonnie Love done got old and looked like Frederick Douglass. But anyway, there was so many. And then the main villain, oh my God, I gotta look what his name is, but he's always a villain in every movie. If you ever seen Stand By Me, he's the villain in Stand By Me. But I mean, they really did this. But it was like 50 movies in one. It was 2 hours and 4 minutes long, and I was entertained every second of it. And the witty banter and the jokes. Shoot, Yo-Yo and Slick Charles reminded me honestly of how clever and fast-paced the comedy was on Harlem Nights, when Red Fox and Della Reese was just tearing into each other, but you could tell they had love for each other. I mean, the whole thing was good, and the message was amazing. And it's basically like, do you go along with the crowd? Do you keep with the status quo? Or do you try to figure out how to break out? Because sometimes assimilation is annihilation. So you'll get it when you get to the end of the movie. But I loved it. And please, y'all, stop making movies where fried chicken is the villain. But anyway, I'm just playing. But it was really good. Please check it out. Since I'm not going to do a full review unless somebody wants to chat about it, I'm going to give it, it's real hard for me. I'm going to give it 4 out of 5 sepias. And yeah, I'm a scholar, but it was the right type of ratchet for me. Even when they discovered everything came through, like the one-liners that I know dudes from my neighborhood would say and how they would act if something like this happened. It was very realistic to me. And just because people are from the hood doesn't mean they aren't intelligent or well-read. Because the references, it was obvious people were just smart and they were... You'll watch the movie and you'll get it. So have a great rest of your night. And please go check it out on Netflix. It's called They Cloned Tyrone. And I heard y'all said they cloned Jamie Foxx, but I don't know. He was on a video crying and stuff, thanking the Lord for him making it through. I thank the Lord he made it through too. Prayer works. All right, with that being said, love who loves you. May God bless you with everything that you need. And the Sepia Scholar is out. Pay your Netflix bill so you can watch the movie. Or anyway, I'm not going to say what I was going to say. Bye, y'all.